Hello and welcome to a special Nasdaq interview in honor of Black History Month. I'm your host, Christine Lee, and joining us today is Michael T. Pugh, President and CEO of Carver Bancorp. Thanks for joining us today, Michael.
A pleasure. Thank you, Christine.
As you know, at Nasdaq, we're honoring Black History Month by amplifying the voices of our listed companies and partners that are advocating towards Black health and wealth. Founded in 1948, Carver Bank is a historic institution and one of the largest African and Caribbean American managed banks in the country. Can you tell us about Carver's unique history and the mission of your company?
I think one of the most powerful and interesting things about Carver is that we were founded by a group of civic-minded community leaders. These were faith-based leaders, small business entrepreneurs, and it was an unprecedented time when you think about the fact that it was people of color founding a bank and a woman of color part of that founding membership. When Carver was founded, it was initially because there wasn't access to mainstream financial services available for middle-income people of color. And so these business leaders, community leaders understood that there needed to be a change. And what they ultimately did was apply for a charter in New York State and, of course, in Washington, D.C. Once they were approved, Carver Federal Savings Bank was born.
It's a very powerful history. Thank you for sharing. And one of Carver's main pillars is reinvesting about 80 cents of every dollar on deposit back into the communities that you serve. Can you tell us about this pillar and how Carver is advancing Black health and wealth within the communities that you operate in?
We've focused our commitment and passion in terms of this 80 cents of every dollar through a number of different ways. One is providing access to capital to small businesses. And then we've also focused heavily on first-time home buyer programs, financial education workshops and seminars. We've educated more than 16,000 people over the past few years to really help provide financial education. The skill building component there is mission critical as we think about wealth building. And then as we think about small business entrepreneurs and workshops, we've done a number of workshops over the past few years to help small businesses develop their plans and ultimately be able to launch their businesses or grow their businesses. Home buyers programs. We know that home ownership is a critical component to wealth building strategy. And so we've worked very closely with partners across the city to help ensure that first-time home buyer programs were launched and helping buyers to be able to build that solid plan, including savings to ultimately lead to their first home.
And last year, Carver announced a partnership with the Society for Financial Education and Professional Development on a mission to teach students personal financial literacy at 3 historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs. Can you tell us about this program today and how Carver is promoting financial literacy across its diverse customer base?
Our partnership with historically Black colleges and universities, we think is very important for us. Howard University, Medgar Evers, and University of the District of Columbia have been the 3 groups that we've started to work with so far. We expect to expand this program over time. This program focuses on partnering students in terms of their financial education skills with a certified financial planner and a peer that is considered to be the financial education coach. So that peer is working very closely with his or her certified financial planner, the deans of the business schools, and they are providing the financial education workshops and tools to their fellow classmates.
Absolutely, it's such an important skill to learn as you are young and then to build on it as you get older. And lastly, Michael, how has Carver supported small businesses, entrepreneurs, especially minority-owned businesses during the pandemic, and what do they need going forward?
Small businesses need resources, including capital and technical assistance. And that has consistently over time been the most important things that small businesses could benefit from. During the pandemic, what we saw is that many of the small businesses that did not have access to capital or technical resources were left with a high level of uncertainty in terms of trying to determine if they could keep their doors open. And we saw that the statistics tell us that more than 40% of small businesses defined by the SBA, businesses with 500 or less employees, more than 40% of Black small businesses were at risk of closing their doors or did close their doors during the pandemic. Carver was a financial first responder. We worked very closely with partners that included fintech providers and others to make sure that we supported small businesses. With the Paycheck Protection Program as part of the CARES stimulus initiative, we were able to support the access to capital of more than $50 million to small businesses within greater New York City. The other powerful part about that story, Christine, is that it supported the preservation of more than 5,000 jobs in the communities that we serve. And we took it a step further, which was to partner with a minority firm, MBE Capital, in order to support the access to capital of more than $300 million and 16,000 small businesses at a national scale. So we were very proud of that. And what I can tell you is that over the past 18 months, we've continued this mission and focus of supporting small businesses and commercial real estate owners by helping to support more than $100 million in loans to that sector, which ultimately, again, will help our nation to have a faster recovery and these small businesses to survive over time.
It's truly inspiring to see the commitment that Carver has to its communities. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your views and experience as part of our Black History Month campaign. It was a pleasure to have you.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Nasdaq followers, that was Michael T. Pugh, President and CEO of Carver Bancorp. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, we are signing off.